They're admitting that they eat their own farts? How shameful. Strange for them to be so open about it. No, we do not eat our own farts! Welcome back to the channel, lads and ladies, and welcome to a look at the dev blog for the Douglas A4 Skyhawk. I am a big fan of Douglas aircraft in the game of War Thunder. The A2D, the AD2. There are a lot of great Douglas aircraft in the game already. The Sky series of aircraft and the Skyhawk looks absolutely gorgeous. I would expect this jet to sit in the no fun zone of 9.0 to 10.0 battle rating. It is subsonic, so there is a chance that this could sit at the lower range, but because it has air-to-air missiles and good acceleration and top speed for a jet at sea level, I wouldn't be surprised to see this at least a 9.7 battle rating. Hopefully it won't be in the 10.0, 10.3 range, but even so, I feel like this could be a death trap for Air RB noobs if you've used your high tier premium to get into the high tier American jets without really getting a feel for how the jet meta works. And of course, this being a multi-role attacker capable jet fighter, it will not be able to perform that ground attack role well in air battles, where it would expect to get pounced on quickly by enemy fighters, which are the true meta of Air RB from start to finish, with a few exceptions of exceptional bombers, attackers, and heavy fighters that can manage to avoid the meta of PvP fighter versus fighter combat. So that's the role you can expect the Sky Shark to play, and that is either a dedicated fighter with its decent missiles and good cannons with a poor amount of ammunition, or rocking gun pods and hoping for the best that Lord Burt will grace you with his favor. And yet, the overall capabilities of this fighter in mixed battles in Tank RB look very tasty, despite the fact that, again, you'll be in a meta where helicopters are a thing and probably a fantastic tasty target for you, and yet also high tier SPAA will force you to adapt to that meta. It is not impossible, it is not unreasonable to operate an aircraft in an environment with radar guided SPAA and guided missiles coming up from the ground toward your position, flying low, staying speedy, and choosing your angles of attack, being very aware of where your targets are, and picking your battles are things that high-tier jet ground strike pilots in mixed battles are already very familiar with, and this could be my impetus to set foot in those waters once more. We'll have to see. Let's get into the aircraft itself, since we've talked about how it's going to play in the game of War Thunder, probably, and the quick summary for that is not exceptional, but with a high degree of potential versatility. The Douglas A4 Skyhawk is an American jet attack aircraft. Notice, this is getting us ready for the real American jet attacker that we all want, that big booty goth girl A-10 Warthog, Thunderbolt 2. Coming soon, TM. Developed in the mid-1950s as a contemporary replacement to the outdated AD Skyraider. So this is your replacement for the AD4 in your lineup. Coming to War Thunder as part of upcoming update 1.97, the A4 Skyhawk will soon become available to all pilots and fans of American jet aircraft. So this is a regular Tech Tree Rank 6 vehicle, as far as we know. That we do know. What else can we learn? Let's see. It's got good payload options. It has air-to-ground guided missiles. So this is going to be at least 9.0. Almost guaranteed to be higher than that, because it does perform better than the, FJ4B VMF. In War Thunder, the A4B Skyhawk is a new addition inbound to Rank 6 of the American aviation tree, blah blah blah. Great secondary ordnance. You can see guided missiles, bombs, air-to-air, Sidewinder missiles. They look like probably early variants, but we'll have to see. It has a great engine. It can go 656 freedoms per hour or 1056 kilometers per needing intervention in World War at sea level. Let's see, good acceleration, overall maneuverability. Those are statements that I believe. It has these nice swept delta wings set low, so I would expect it to have good roll because the wings aren't too big, and yet your control surfaces look to be pretty beefy. Although the tail could be a little thicker. You might have to worry about that locking up at high speeds, but the vertical stave is pretty tasty as well. What else? Good acceleration, that I believe. It's got a beefy engine and not a huge amount of drag that we see here, although with that delta wing you'll have a lot of induced drag. So when you maneuver, I would expect this to bleed energy fast, and when you fly in a straight line, I would expect it to build speed quickly, and those two things set this up to be a good defensive flyer, potentially, in the jet meta of War Thunder, which is something we don't really see in the American tree yet. So if this flies just right, and if you look at how it handles in these videos, it does seem to have a decent roll rate, a decent elevator, and there's not a ton else we can gather. A lot of these, it's flying in a pretty straight line here. But from how you see it maneuver, this could be a little something that the American tree hasn't seen yet, sort of like what you see with the MiG-21 at what should be a higher tier. So this should be lower tier than the MiG-21. What else do we see? This is a little bit of speculation, but it looks like this is how the aircraft should handle. And again, if it doesn't, you'll just be falling back on your fantastic secondary armament to make this basically a souped up FJ4B with the bullpups and the mobility and such. If you want dumb bombs, you've got those too, but honestly, this is starting to get into the era where you could start to see guided bombs as well, and that would be a lot of fun. I doubt that that's coming with this aircraft, but it could come in the future. Anyway, great secondary ordnance. The A4B Skyhawk is destined to soon become a favorite. Oh, well, what a huge statement to say that it is destined to soon become a favorite. Now, I think the Gaijin knows when a vehicle is overpowered, so is this going to have a lower battle rating than it should have? I doubt it, because it's not a premium, right? Anyway, let's carry on here. Soon become a favorite among dogfighting aces as well as ground attack fans. So, there you have it. You can see some of the secondary ordnance that this has. It has the Colt 20mm cannons that we're familiar with from, again, the FJ4B, but only 100 rounds per gun, so that is a very small amount of time on trigger. But look at that, 320mm gun pods. That's going to kill your acceleration and top speed, but to have those available, are those on angled pylons or are they straight firing? It looks like they're facing straight, but it's hard to tell. And let's see if we can get another view on those oh, those rocket pods. Are those rocket pods? It should have Zuni rockets as well. And what are those? What are those? I haven't seen those before. Oh, those would be the Zunis, wouldn't they? The thicker rockets. Okay, so Zuni Fat Boy rockets. This looks like it could be a lot of fun. Not every time, but every now and then in Tank RB. And for jet battles, if you fly this clean and do some good defensive flying, you might be able to pull off some maneuvers in this one that you're not used to pulling off in American jets, but we'll have to see. And I do love this desert camouflage. Put some Israeli roundels on there and live the dream. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to check and see if you guys have any comments real quick. Where's my comment section? MG1. The last combat flights were in 1991 Gulf War by the Kuwaiti Air Force. Neat. A good dogfighter that can ground pound. Sign me up. I really hope it is. I really hope it is. Wouldn't that be cool to have a maneuverable jet for the Americans at this higher tier? You kind of get used to that with the P-59, another. Never mind. That's not a Douglas aircraft. That's Era Comet. But then the F-80A is a fantastic maneuverable jet as well for the Americans. Did Gaijin mention this has air-to-air rockets, not missiles, unguided ones? I think it does have those air-to-air rockets, and we've seen those in the game already. At a higher tier with a better platform to carry those, this is looking spicy. It really looks like an interesting development in the kinds of secondary armaments we're used to seeing on other less capable aircraft, and the versatility of this fighter could make it a lot of fun. I think I might have to jump into high tier and suffer through that a while to see what kind of crazy kills I can get with this thing. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and this is by no means just me reading off the dev blog. You are welcome to do that yourself, and I've been more reading into it, and I'm very excited, and I'm very pleased by this surprise that Gaijin is bringing to the American jet line in the regular tech tree for update 1.97 of War Thunder. Catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. Do 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 do.